The good news, people, we have made it to Saints football season. The bad news, Juge won the adopted son UDFA competition, and he's been insufferable all week. R.I.P. Jimmy Buffett. He's on the Mount Rushmore of Saints celebrity fans. Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to the award-winning Saints Happy Hour podcast. Seriously, this podcast has won awards. American standards are dropping every day. The show features Ralph, the best host in the world, who can barely pronounce his own name, much less anyone else's.
Marcus Callaway.
Dave is that dude who loves taking bathroom breaks. He's mad about almost anything, so make sure to lower your volume when he speaks.
Put that freaking clown meme back up that I made. Jesus Christ.
Andrew has sources, watches tapes, and knows football. He rarely shows up on time and wants to commit crimes to help the Saints win.
Sean Payton would have done illegal things. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because you know it's true.
Oh, and there's also Kevin, who is great at doing mock drafts, but struggles to actually watch Saints games or have a functioning relationship.
Budrich wants to know how the doctor's doing.
That ended.
Anyway, grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy the insanity.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. We are presented by Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey.
Hey now.
That's right. I'm Ralph Marlborough. I'm joined by Dave and Andrew. Also, hello to everybody watching on Twitch right now. I can see Jason Champagne, Jerry, Hatchet John, many more. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We're going to preview the Saints season, including the season opener against the Tennessee Titans. We're going to make game predictions. Thomas has got a whole new setup that's confusing and complicated, and we're going to yell at him. And we're going to wrap it up with questions from patrons, as always. Before we start, remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast. And I also have to mention about our MVP contest, which is over officially tonight. That's right, Thomas, right? Tonight's the final night to get into the raffle. If you ever wanted to be on the main show and tell Kevin to shut up, though he's not here, you enjoy going, Dave, to the bathroom in person, or you want to grill Andrew about his sources, now you can. The person who donates the most each week is entered into our drawing to be on the main show with us. We're doing the drawing end of this show, so this is your final chance. So, and by the way, if we reach $100 tonight, the MVP will choose which mini bar from my gigantic mini bar booze collection I'm going to poison myself with. The catch is some of them are 20 years old, but I got Margaritaville Gold Tequila in honor of Super Saints fan Jimmy Buffett. He was a Saints super fan, on just tremendous. And I got Barstool Pink Whitney. If we get
he can't even say Barstool right. He called it Barstool. Yeah,
Barstool. Whichever one. If we get to $100, I'll drink it.
Let's go.
It'll be fun. Okay. So what is everybody drinking? I'm gonna start. I'm drinking strawberry lemonade. It's Hard Hide strawberry whiskey with lemonade and just a touch of club soda. It's amazing. The best part about the Hard Hide strawberry whiskey is it's 86 proof, so it's really strong. So I don't have to drink much, and it's flavored, so it goes down smooth.
That's a good base for when you have to start doing your shots later in the show.
That's right.
You just need to put more ice in that. Honestly, that's probably the best thing you've drinking on this podcast in the last year, to be quite honest.
Facts. Finally, Ralph, you have some taste.
Yeah, glad to have
upping up your game. Shout out to Hard Hide for actually improving Ralph's stomach lining, and
the bar was low, but good job.
It was but good job. I'm drinking a little bourbon tonight. I'm going with Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea. It's good stuff.
It's quality. Dave, what are you drinking?
It's quality.
Drinking rum?
I am currently having I'm finishing off a Royal Hawaiian Mai Tai that I made. But then I'm gonna move on. I'll talk about it when I do it.
I can't wait. I'm holding my breath.
All right.
Bated breath.
All right. So Saints season is here. Let's just get this over with.
Ralph, let me interrupt you. MVP update, man. MVP update.
Wow. Sorry, Thomas.
Off the bat.
You forgot we are already at 60%. Andrew should also remind you because he subscribed, right, Andrew? Also, thanks to Hatchet John for 5 gifted subs.
This is it. This is the last chance qualifier.
And the MVP leader is Budrich with 3K bits. So it's the Battle of the Titans at the top. Budrich and Hatchet John.
That's right.
It's the Battle of the Titans.
So let's get this over with. Juge is peek behind the scenes. I know the behind the scenes podcast gives you a little peek, but we also have like a text chain that we do all the time.
Yeah.
Andrew has been insufferable, sending us Game of Thrones. Bend the knee. He doesn't even watch that show. He's telling us to bend the knee. I don't watch it either.
I didn't get it either.
And I'm like, what the hell is this? But Jude, take your victory lap. I just do it. You won again. It's disgusting.
Lou Headley, the punter, is on the active roster. He's the punter. He's made it. All the other UDFAs have been cut. That means you, Dave, with Shaq Davis. That means you, Ralph, with whatever schmuck you took.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin's dude. Who knows? He's probably
Kevin's guy even here tonight?
The sun never sets on the Juge Empire.
Kevin's dude is living under a bridge somewhere, and then Thomas, I don't even know who you picked. I don't even know
remind me who we picked. Budrich.
Yeah,
Budrich, that's on you, man. That's on you, man.
So look. At the end of the day, I'll say this: we've done this competition 5 times now. Dave was lucky to win one year when he picked Malcolm Roach. I'll give him that. Congratulations, you did it once.
Okay,
Malcolm Roach.
But 4 out of 5. Belong to me now.
Close with Loki.
I am the Tom Brady of the UDFA draft competition. Bow before your master, gentlemen.
All right.
Show them the rings.
When do I get to talk here? When is the Jude show over?
I'm not sure
after you win, Dave.
I'm not sure you're allowed to talk ever again, Dave. It's clear who is superior in this competition. It's clear who's better looking. It's clear who knows more about football. It's clear who is more successful in life. It's clear who has a higher acumen. Really, just top to bottom, you guys just. I'm sorry, but
I am. I actually have something to say about this, but I'm gonna save it for later because it actually goes along with one of my season prediction things. So I'm going to wait until then to discuss this. But all I'm going to say now is that it is not over. It is week 0.5.
You're going to prolong the pain, huh?
That's my question before we move on from this.
It is over.
No. This is Rocky.
It ain't over. It ain't over, Mick.
I didn't hear no bell.
It is not over.
Stallone, man.
It is not over yet.
That was a quality Stallone.
I didn't hear no bell. I didn't hear no bell.
Well, I do have a question about that, though. Let's say Headley punts for like 8 weeks and he's kind of mediocre. He's fine. He's just averaging like 41 yards per punt.
I'm going to be discussing that.
Let's talk about it. So he goes 8 weeks. He's kind of mediocre. And then
I would say even worse. What if he's even worse than that?
That's what I'm saying. That's my question.
My point is like Lou Headley has won the job, but it is now possible for him to lose the job so bad that he could actually damage.
That was my question, Dave. How confident are you, Andrew? Before we get off,
he's punting a football. I mean, how bad could it be?
How confident are you that he's going to be the punter at the end of the year?
I don't know. Who knows what he could be doing?
I mean, I could see a scenario where Shaq Davis gets elevated. Here's what I think it could realistically happen. Headley's the punter and he's fine. He's not great. He's not awful, but maybe he makes it through the season. Like he's just okay, right? But I've like de facto won because he's been the punter all season. And then, late in the season, we get a rash of injuries at receiver. Shaq Davis gets called up. He scores 1 touchdown. He has like 2 catches for 37 yards and a score. But Dave is relentless. Like, oh, no, I've won the competition. I win, just because he scored 1 touchdown.
It's possible. It is possible that Lou Headley could do more damage than he could do good by being out there. He could be an embarrassment to the franchise. He could do something so preposterous that it could go down in Saints lore as totally horrible and hilarious. And it could solidify him as being terrible.
Have you seen a picture of him, Dave?
I think this is going to get.
I think he's on drugs. I think he's on drugs.
All it takes is one text to my UDFA son. One text, and Shaq Davis is getting shanked.
That's fucking illegal.
Here's my thing. I think this is Dave. I think you're completely wrong. I think this is going to get worse for us because there's going to be one time where a returner breaks free.
Ralph. You gotta think positive, buddy.
I know.
I want to hear the dark. I want to hear the Ralph doom and gloom scenario. One time where a returner gets free, and it's him, and the only thing between him and the end zone is Headley, and Headley played Australian rules football.
Yeah,
and Headley's going to light him up.
Yeah.
And then pick up the fumble and score.
Yeah, and dude, Jude's going to take another victory lap. It's going to get worse before it gets worse, Dave.
This is the same thing as like the Jameis 1-of-1 thing. Like now I can't even like enjoy that. Like if that happens, like it's ruined for me. It is now ruined. Like if that happened, I would be like, oh, yeah.
Tom,
like everybody else in the room with me, everybody else on Twitter would be like, oh my God, did you see it? That's amazing. And I would be like, son of a bitch. It's like that's it. It's ruined now. And
Andrew,
I can't even. Ralph, I can't even two things I want to say real quick. Number one, the new hard hide poster that you have behind your wall looks beautiful. But the fat head next to it looks somehow next to the crocodile looks even smaller than ever. You can decipher what it is even less.
That's why you need to be on the live stream, kids.
The hard hide looks like get all that.
But I really appreciate you putting a fat head of Lou Headley in honor of me. Thank you for honoring our bet.
So, Thomas, let's move away from this horrible topic. Give us a donation update before we move it along.
So annoyed.
We had 65%. We had one new donation from Who Dat Golf at 500 bits. Thanks, man. Budrich is still in the lead. And speaking of Budrich, 1.5K bits. And with donation message, Ralph should constantly call the punter Lou Heady.
And here's the thing I want to tell you this.
80%, people, by the way.
People, if you are a patron, be on the lookout for an email for the live show. It is locked and loaded December 8th at Sports Drink in New Orleans. Patrons can get tickets 50% off. We've already sold half of them, so there's only half the tickets are left. So you're going to be getting an email if you're a patron again this week. Look for it. Buy those tickets. You get 50% off if you're a patron. That's another reason if you're thinking about becoming a patron, you should become one. You get 50% off tickets to the live show. Guys, I want to say we are presented by Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is a strawberry flavored whiskey blended with aged wheat whiskey, American light whiskey, fresh strawberries from Ponchatoula, Louisiana. It's 86 proof, blended and bottled in New Orleans at the Porch Jam Distillery. Hard Hide Strawberry Whiskey is not for the thin-skinned. You can pick it up, a bottle, wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee. To learn more and to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is supporting Saints Happy Hour all season, so support the people who support the show. Grab a bottle of Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey today.
Ralph, are you going to send me some of this? Or is that legal in Virginia?
It's bootlegging, so I can't technically email. I can't technically send it to you to the post office, but I think we can work something out. We can get everybody.
No, he's not. No, he's not going to.
We're officially saying on this podcast,
right? No,
which is being aired for many people to listen, that Ralph will not be sending this to you. Just so we're clear.
I'll get
be sure to watch us on Twitch or YouTube.
Our friend John will get everybody something. It's amazing. Love it.
By the way, while we also have this break, you'll notice that Andrew is wearing an LSU.
Here we go.
Shirt.
Here we go. Jesus Christ.
I am fully decked out. Yeah, there's his LSU little Nike hoodie. And I am fully decked out in a custom one-of-a-kind, specially made Tulane Hawaiian shirt and Tulane hat available at Campus Connection. And do we want to talk about what happened in college football this weekend?
I mean, LSU
got a win against South Alabama, and South Alabama, while an out of conference game, not a total pushover.
No,
we took care of business.
Tulane was only favored by like 6, and they rolled them.
Yes, correct. And then LSU. Well, I don't know, Andrew, how did LSU do?
Fell apart. Worse than my Dogecoin investment.
Right, Andrew.
Well, first of all, this was a dropped opportunity by Thomas. He could have dropped the soundbite about Tulane running roughshod if they don't win 9 games. So,
well, actually,
my bad. Don't fire me.
By the way, we're 1-0. Tulane's 1-0.
1-0.
So, Thomas, you will be getting no meats and cheeses this week.
Here's a question. Go ahead, Andrew.
You can play it too, though.
Coming to town,
Andrew,
baby.
right?
Old Miss coming to town.
What's that?
You can play
I
it
was
too,
going to say,
though.
Dave, has Tulane made preparations to make sure their stadium isn't overrun by Ole Miss people?
Yeah, well, I mean, like this season, we had the most season tickets. We were up like 800% on season ticket sales. I think, when when the public on sale for that game happened, I think a good amount of Tulane fans bought them.
All right, this is
obviously Ole Miss will have their section, but
all right, this is enough Tulane.
What's crazy is Tulane.
Yeah, that was good talk. Good talk.
The Tulane, the student section, there were 1,500 students that got turned away that could not get into the stadium.
Wow.
Shut up! I mean, that has never happened.
If Tulane beats Ole Miss, between Dave talking about Tulane and Andrew just doing victory lap after victory lap about his UDFA son, it's going to be in this season.
It's too bad, Ralph. You don't have anything that you could.
Well, I gotta say, to get off my pedestal for a minute and get off my high horse, to get out of my ivory tower. Watching LSU was incredibly humbling, and I have to say, I don't know that I had big expectations, but I was hopeful that, obviously I was nervous. I was nervous about the Florida State game. I was not one of these delusional LSU fans that was like, look, we're going to beat them by 50 this time, and we're so much better. We should have never lost to them last year. I knew Florida State was a good team. I knew it would be difficult. What I was shocked by was I thought LSU looked woefully unprepared. The tackling at the second level was comical, and when you can't tackle, like can you beat anybody? It kind of that starts to get into 101 football stuff where it's like, man, if you can't tackle, like it's gonna be tough to beat anybody.
Let's have our awesome pass rushing linebacker. Let's have him cover people.
Yeah. Well, so there was that, and then honestly, like their offensive line got whipped. The receivers were dropping passes. Like there wasn't a lot to hang your hat on other than I thought Daniels looked like Daniels. And even Daniels, it's not that Daniels had a great game. I know Ralph's about to take a shot, but I just want to say this, it's not that Daniels didn't have a great game. It was one of those things where it's like, okay, we're back to he has to wear his Superman cape for LSU to win games, especially like important games that matter. And if he has like a slightly off day, like they have no shot. And so like they're completely quarterback dependent. And so, I mean, look, it's only year 2 for Brian Kelly, but like that was just 20. It was a huge gut punch. And I like to parlay this to the Saints, like to start the football season like this. It was just like, my mind immediately went to darkness and was like,
2012.
What does Dennis Allen and Derek Carr have in store for me on Sunday? My God, if this is how the football season's going to go, what are the Saints going to do to me on Sunday? So I'm petrified right now.
Roll wave. Has either of you Googled what Brian Kelly's buyout is?
$100 million.
That feels premature.
Which one to do, Thomas? Which one? Who's
okay? So Andrew thinks that's premature.
Who's the leader for MVP?
Ralph knows the answer to the question at $100 million.
It's 100.
Yeah.
That explains.
Well, my dad just dropped 5,000 bits. By the way, he's with me. He's upstairs right now. He's hanging out.
Wait, get away! Wait! Wait, come on.
Wait.
He's not downstairs.
Does he get to pick? Does he get to pick what Ralph drinks?
Mr. Jude, am I doing Margaritaville tequila?
He only
Andrew,
gets to pick it. He gets his ass downstairs and does it on camera live.
Hold on. One at a time. Thomas, what were you saying?
No, there's a story to tell. So first, your dad, like 5 minutes ago, asked me who's the MVP and how much, and I told him Budrich with 4.5K. And then I was waiting, and then Budrich donated 1.5K, and right after that, your dad donated 5K bits. So right now, Budrich is still in the lead. Budrich,
Wow.
preemptively. He saw the thing,
So what does my dad have to? What does he have to drop right now in order to force Ralph to get to pick
more
what
than
Ralph
1K. More than 1K.
More than 1K. Okay.
Margaritaville tequila.
He's probably got that in his pocket in like
Barstool
bills.
trash.
That's his pocket change.
He could probably just make it rain right there on the Yeti. Right there.
That's right. So as the MVP situation gets sorted out, we appreciate I appreciate Mr. Juge giving me the Juge inheritance.
And Budrich.
And Budrich.
Wait, so do you guys want him to come down here and say hello?
Yeah.
Well, I think he's upstairs listening. So Dad, come downstairs.
And to recap the college football talk, roll away.
No, we're done with the college football talk. It's nauseating.
So this show is only 3 hours, guys.
Here's the thing, Andrew. This is gonna sound really strange, but the Saints have had a really good training camp and they've been pretty healthy. And Traquan Smith winning the Saints mesh surgery bingo. It got me really excited. Like, he went to see Dr. Myers. He's out 4 to 6 weeks, of course. Like, that to me is a great sign. Like, if you told me Traquan Smith's got to get the mesh, I would have just said yes. No question asked.
Of all the Saints that could get the mesh, Traquan Smith topped the list for me.
Yes.
Andrews Pete was a close second.
I mean, it just made the vibes of the potential season feel so much better. I know that's wrong because Traquan Smith, I should feel bad for him getting hurt, but he got the mesh. I feel great about the roster situation. Kendra Miller may not play. Dennis Allen was kind of coy.
I like that you have a fathead of Traquan Smith with post-mesh surgery.
Right there. So listen, I didn't get either of you guys' thoughts on the kicking situation because me and Kevin talked about it last week in breaking news. But you guys' thoughts on the kicking situation? How do you feel about Groupie going into week 1 against the Titans and Lutz going off to Denver?
Groupie and Headley. I mean, whatever. Like, I trust the coaches. Like, they've been watching it this whole time.
You really trust the coaches?
I have to.
There you go, Andrew's dad.
I mean,
all right, Steven. What is? Okay, I mean, ideally, you're coming downstairs and telling us what he's drinking, but
I don't know. He might not want to. He's camera shy.
Unless Budrich beats him to it or someone else.
I'm just gonna put this out there: tequila and 86 proof strawberry whiskey
mixes.
That's a dangerous combination.
What are the options again?
Margaritaville Gold Tequila.
You got to do that. It's Jimmy Buffett
and Barstool.
No, you got to do Margaritaville.
I think you got to go Margaritaville.
Jimmy Buffett. But no, look, we said previous to this, and Andrew, you agreed with me that if everything was equal, they would stick with the guy that was already in the building, and they didn't stick with the guy that's already in the building. Which means then that I have to be led to believe that the guy that won the job is better than the guy that was in the building. So both of these should be upgrades.
Okay. I want to answer this question, but first, Ralph, my dad says Buffett rules, so go ahead and take that to the face.
No.
All right.
To the face.
To the face.
Answer, and then I'll do the shot, Andrew.
So I gotta say, the Saints took
Budrich.
The Saints took
Let's drink both of those
flyer on 2 UDFAs, a kicker and punter. I think it's worth noting that Will Lutz took a pay cut to stay, and then he ended up getting traded. So they did get a draft pick for him. And then Gillikin was in a contract year, so they would have had to pay him the vet minimum next year to stick around. So they make both moves, and it makes me nervous, if I'm being honest. I think in Groupie and Headley, they have 2 guys that perform well in training camp. Small sample size. They're both rookies.
Yeah.
We'll see how they handle, the big lights when they're under pressure.
I feel like Groupie.
But here's the thing, Ralph. Like the thing for me is, it's a salary cap move. They were like happy enough with how they performed, and they're like, yeah, we're trying to get under the cap. We've got some issues in the future, so like this is a way to ensure if these guys work out that for the next 3 years we have a kicker and punter that are under minimum deals. And this is an easy way to kind of finagle some money to be under the cap. So I understand why they did it, but man, you're taking a big risk and a big investment in inexperienced, unproven guys.
How big of a risk are you taking? You traded the worst kicker in the NFL last year. Like, how big of a risk is it?
I mean, I think you're still talking about a guy that has a huge leg who has proven a lot. But yeah, I mean, I don't know post-injury. And he looked good. He looked good in camp. I think the competition was close. So
I'm going to prove a lot. I love Jimmy Buffett. If you're a patron, you got my Saints season preview early. I used Jimmy Buffett's songs preview the Saints season. That's how much I like Jimmy Buffett. I'm not quite a parrot head, but I'm close. So drinking Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville Gold Tequila, it's exciting. It's nice. It's got like the Jimmy Buffett like plane logo. It's classy.
Oh, you going with the Mayhem?
Yeah. While Ralph,
I almost drank that tonight.
While Ralph drinks that, I'll tell you.
This smells like good tequila.
Yeah, it's Margaritaville. It can't be that good. By the way, Jimmy Buffett.
I stand corrected. Oh God, that was terrible.
By the way, for those that don't know, Jimmy Buffett for many years during the Peyton era,
mega Saints fan,
and I know this because I saw it with my own eyes because I sat in the second row all those years, still do. Looking forward to being back there on Sunday. But him and Quint Davis, who is the Jazz Fest, the head of Jazz Fest, who arranges all that. The two of them would always have special sideline passes and be standing there on the sideline next to the Saints bench, just watching like every game all the time.
Jimmy Buffett went to the first Saints game. He was friends with the original Saints team in 1967 because he was playing in the French Quarter back then. And I didn't know this. Peter Schrager said to get to the 2009 Saint NFC Championship game, he flew from Bora Bora and his plane like broke down. And he said, no. You got to fix this goddamn thing. I gotta get to the 2009 NFC Championship game and see my Saints. So he wasn't like this Johnny come lately Saints fan. He was hardcore. Yeah. He sang the national anthem at 2018 NFC Championship. Right. And he always said he was a Saints fan from day one. And I think, Thomas, we're doing it ahead of schedule, but for the 2019 Jazz Fest, and this is what makes him a legend. For the 2019 Jazz Fest, he had two Saints stations walk him out to the stage. He was dressed like a blind referee.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty good.
Just incredible. I mean,
I forgot about that.
Well, my uncle Cord, who passed away, R.I.P. a long time ago. He was a huge Buffett guy, and he took me to Jimmy Buffett when I was I think it was 19. So this would have been like 1999, 1998.
How many times do you have to see Buffett to be a parrot head?
I only saw him once. I only saw him once at Jazz Fest, but it was a great time. And so, I remember my Uncle Court when I think of Jimmy Buffett. I
think of my brother. Of course, my brother's still healthy and alive, but my brother introduced me to Jimmy Buffett. I've seen Jimmy Buffett probably 8, 9, 10 times. I don't know. My brother started taking me when we were in high school. And I just like the Saints have been really good the last 15 or so years with Drew Brees and Sean Payton. And there's a lot of celebrity fans, right? We know them. They kind of glob on Brad Pitt and different guys they're kind of like Johnny come lately Saints fan. But like Jimmy Buffett is the Mount Rushmore of Saints fans, Dave. Oh, it's Mr. Juge. And I just feel like Jimmy Buffett, Wendell Pierce, there's a bunch of guys that are like Mount Rushmore Saints fans.
We're like closet chums.
Hey guys, I just want to say one thing, which is Andrew's carpet upstairs has holes worn in it from the victory laps. Wow. Okay. So he's
Jesus.
Oh man,
he's having to talk.
How long you been coming up with that?
The
Is that what
sun
took you so
never
long to get
sets
down
on
here?
the
You were
Jewish
looking that one up?
Empire.
Oh, it's the last 15 minutes at least. Now, so he's now having to negotiate with his wife to replace the carpets.
Does he do this in every aspect of his life, Mr. Jude, where he just, when he's right about something, he just reminds you over and over and over again?
These guys are winning. They're winning all the time. They don't know losing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's his worst quality, and he got it from me.
Hey guys, I just want to ask, do you think that Jimmy Buffett is better at writing songs or I'm better at picking UDFAs?
That's an easy one.
I mean, Jimmy Buffett made $1 billion off of writing about a cheeseburger. So
well, he's out of here. He's like, I've had enough. I'm going back to hang out with my grandson. But
that's right. So now we got to do
Papa Juge, everybody.
Papa Juge.
Anyway, I'm trying to. I'm gonna have one of Nikolai's Mayhaw Mayhems. I'm gonna mix it with club soda. I bought some club soda.
Club soda.
I've been meaning to do that.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try that now. But now I can't get this damn thing open.
The beer, he made it.
You need like
Nikolai made it. It's really good. It's really good, but the club soda really it elevates it and makes it like an A+. Whereas before it was still really good, but the club soda. Boom.
I can get to the tab, but I can't.
All right, so now we got to do one of my favorite segments that we do all year, Andrew. Season predictions. And I want to start with this. Before we get to MVP and the record and your biggest disappointment, and me and you were talking about this peek behind the scenes on text today. What's your biggest worry heading into the season? And you can't say injuries because every team worries about injuries. I see Kansas City panicked about Travis Kelce had a hyperextended knee because their receivers and tight ends stink. And if they don't have Kelce, their receivers might be like the worst in the league. So you can't say injuries. But what worries you most about the 2023 Saints?
Well, you guys have probably heard me say this on the show a lot lately, but it's got to be the offensive line. Yeah, I feel like their depth is paper thin. I'm not even sure the offensive line is that good without injuries. Look, McCoy is a good center.
Yeah,
I think Ruiz is pretty good.
By the way,
Ramczyk is a good player. So I think the right side of the line's okay. The left side of the line's a big question mark. If we're rolling with James Hurst at left guard and Trevor Penning at left tackle, I mean, who knows, especially out of the gate early in the season before Penning gets acclimated to the NFL. So it's up front, man. And I just look again, like, I don't mean to make this about LSU, but like, I just watched them absolutely get annihilated and against a team that honestly, like, they're comparable to in a lot of ways. But if you can't block up front, you can forget everything else.
Oh, and by the way, Derek Carr is terrible when he gets pressured. That's his whole MO, his career. If you pressure him,
and like Kamara being out 3 weeks, like, doesn't help. No, So yeah,
Dave, what's your biggest worry?
I don't remember this being on any rundown that I saw. Although
are you not able to answer this question without preparing?
I didn't send you the rundown, so technically you can't say it wasn't on the rundown that I didn't send you.
Number 3 season predictions.
And by the way, people in Apple comments and on Twitter DMs complaining that Kevin doesn't watch the preseason games. I'm not going to stand for it. It's right there in the open that the man struggles to watch games. Don't be complaining that Kevin doesn't watch the games. Proceed, Dave.
Well, I mean, it's not fair. Andrew got to go first because, I mean, offensive line, that's the answer. Objectively,
no, I got a different answer.
Yeah, but it's wrong. The offensive line is the correct answer. Because otherwise, I guess the other answer for me could be one of the main assumptions we're making for this season is that Derek Carr is going to be good. And so, I mean, like, that could not happen. And obviously, if that doesn't happen, then your whole season is totally sunk. But
I'm oddly, like, insanely confident.
I'm very confident. I am very confident.
I'm so confident. I'm nervous.
I think so. Interesting perspective here is being a Saints fan. We're all drinking the Kool-Aid, I think. and with
I'm
cars.
drinking Mayhem.
And I've just had a lot of people in Virginia who are like, so how are the Saints going to be this year? You know, I'm obviously like the Saints fan, you know, in the area, and no one else is.
Oh yeah,
and they're all kind of like, they're honestly treating me with Derek Carr how they were treating me with Jameis. Whereas like everyone was like, you guys got Jameis, and I like it. And now it's kind of like, how do you think they're even there? Derek Carr. So I'm kind of getting a similar like half mocking, but the difference is with Jameis, I was never like, oh yeah, I think it's gonna go great. I was always like, yeah, we'll see. Like it's freaking Jameis Winston. But this time around, I've been telling people like, no, I actually think he's gonna be good. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how stupid it makes me look.
Here's my concern, and it's not. I said you can't do injuries, so I'm not going to do injuries. The thing that I worry about is the Saints by weighted snap count. Still, even though they got the average age of the team down when they at cutdown day, they're still the oldest team in the league by weighted snap count. I worry that on defense, Cam, DeMario, and Honey Badger and Marcus May are going to get old all at once. That's my biggest concern. And it, like in football, it happens really quick. Like I know probably a lot of people that listen to this podcast don't remember, but like the 1991 Saints, 1992 Saints, their defense was awesome. And then in 93, like dudes got old, and it was like from like elite to like the 16th best defense.
Hold on a second, Ralph. Dave, correct me if I'm wrong. Is he working his way towards saying that injuries are the biggest thing that scare him?
No, I just think I don't.
After
think
saying that wasn't a possible
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be injuries. I just think we're going to. I worry
equals injury.
I worry that at the end of the year,
I don't think it's going to be injury so much. I just think a guy's going to get hurt.
No, I don't think they're going to get hurt. I just think we're going to be like DeMario Davis isn't any good anymore. Cam Jordan is like a 5-sack guy.
Your aging decline
Stop
is your fear.
Get some help.
You're an ageist. You're an ageist is what you are. That's what you are.
I am an ageist.
My dad just came on the show, and you're immediately throwing.
Wow, you hear that, Mr. Juge? Ralph hates you.
Immediately going okay boomer on us.
Yeah. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Jesus.
So now we got to get to predictions by everybody. So Thomas, how do we have to start this? Do we have to do it in order?
I'm so confused right now.
So we have to do it in a certain order.
I don't know. Thomas has changed the rules. Thomas has changed the game.
Let Andrew, you go. And,
all right.
Your MVP, your biggest disappointment, and your record.
Well, I just talked about how much I'm drinking the Kool-Aid right now.
Derek Carr.
Yeah, he's my MVP. There you go. I think he's going to have a great season. I think all the things that we hoped that Jameis Winston would be, we're going to get out of him. I think he's going to throw for 4,000 yards. I think he's going to be potentially a Pro Bowl QB. I think he is going to have a great season.
The Raiders being terrible just adds to my confidence. Like Chandler Jones is yelling at them on Instagram. They're redoing Jimmy Garoppolo's contract to create cap space. Like
it's a disaster situation over there.
That's right. And
anyone who's in that franchise is doomed to fail. We know this. We've seen it.
That's right.
Over and over. So I think Carr being supported by a good franchise, good supporting cast. I mean, again, the big thing that I worry about is the offensive line, but I think he's a veteran, and if his offensive line sucks, I think he'll be able to mitigate it a lot better than a rookie, or a young quarterback would. So, and look, as much as a lot of us and Saints fans want to crush Pete Carmichael, I think like a veteran offensive coordinator that's been there, that's been in the offense, bringing Gruden in, I think they've done a lot of things in a smart way to get him acclimated quickly. And I
Dennis
think
Allen's making jokes. He's confident. It's good.
I think he's going to execute.
All right. Biggest disappointment.
Yeah. I mean, look, you guys know that I'm like, I lobbied for this guy to be in our Saints Happy Hour Hall of Fame on our wall. So,
oh my God,
it pains me to say this, but I'm picking Jimmy Graham.
Oh my God,
I feel like
that's terrible.
I feel like his legend is so massive in my heart. There's nowhere to go but down. It's like I mean, it's just he's made the team now. He showed us an insane couple catches in preseason in that last game, and so now
catches you're gonna see.
Now I'm like expecting 1,000 yards. I'm expecting 15 touchdowns. Like, there's just no way he can live up to the legend he is in my heart.
Yeah.
And so this brings me to the record. Again, I'm still scared about the offensive line. That's really the biggest thing. But I think this team is set up to succeed. I think the division is weaker. I think you're looking at the NFC South champs. I really do. Wow. I really believe that. And I'm going with 10-7.
10-7. Mm-hmm. All right. So 10-7. So Dave, what do you got? Your MVP.
Well, I hate to be so symbiotic with Andrew on the MVP thing. I kind of felt lame picking Derek Carr as my potential MVP, but I mean, it is what it is. And I do think, again, for all the reasons Andrew mentioned, and also for the reason you mentioned, Ralph, this isn't the Raiders. This is the
You're
same.
all thinking the same. You're not thinking.
I guess, I don't know, but I agree with everything Andrew said. He can easily throw for 4,000 yards.
If you started agreeing with my UDFA picks, you might do better in that competition.
Yeah, well,
too.
I guess I'm on to. Yeah, I guess agreeing with you on these things it's not the worst thing in the world, apparently. Jesus Christ. Except my biggest disappointment, and I was going to mention it here. I wasn't sure if we were going to talk about our undrafted free agents at the top of the show. So,
here we go.
So, and maybe this is me thinking more with my heart and not so much my head. But I'm going with Lou Hedley, your undrafted free agent son.
Wow.
I think he is going to,
Wow.
It's going to be a disaster.
Sexy he is.
He is going to sully his good name. And I don't know.
You better pray he doesn't.
I don't know how.
Hey, don't mind me, guys. Right now, I'm just texting my UDFA son, making sure that Dave has a dead body on his porch when he wakes up.
I'm not exactly
sure
how.
The sun never sets on the Jewish Empire.
It'll probably be an embarrassing fashion, but Lou Hedley is going to be a big disappointment. Which, in turn, vis-a-vis. Is going to open up the undrafted free agent contest once again. And I'm going to say if everything was the same then as it is now, I would say then you have to go back to who had the better performance in preseason. But we'll see, because, Shaq Davis could get signed sometime in week 2 and end up on the field.
I could have 2 working arms.
Yeah, my dad just reminded you in the chat that denial is not a river in Egypt, right. Dave.
No, but the Nile is.
Yeah.
The Nile.
It's
anyway. And for record, I'm actually surprised because I thought I was going to be on the lower side and the less optimistic side. I'm sure I'm less optimistic than Ralph, who's going to have them at 15-2
until they lose a game, and then he's like 1-15.
That's right. Yeah. Andrew won't take my calls Monday morning when I'm driving to work.
Yeah.
But I do think they can win the division. I do think they benefit from being in a weak division. And having probably they probably have the most consistency in their front office / coaching staff than any other team in the South. So I went with 11, right? Didn't I go with 11 and 5 and 11 and 6? Okay.
11-6. Wow.
So that's one better than Andrew, but
right.
Yeah.
Did Kevin send you his stuff?
Are we doing Kevin Love update
should go
too,
next,
what did we decide?
Okay, so I'm gonna go now. With Kevin Love update, we got to do that separately because he sent a text that was like
diatribe.
It was like a Tolstoy novel. It was like 9,000.
Seemed like basically he was pulling the old switcheroo.
So MVP, I went a different direction because I said on a podcast that me and Kevin did where we did our Saints hot takes for the 2023 season, I said the Saints would lead the NFL in turnovers. Last year, they were 31st. I said this year, they're going to lead the league in turnovers. So if that's true, and if I believe that, there's only one person that can be the Saints MVP, and that's Honey Badger. The Saints, the Saints defense is going to be top 3, and they are going to be a turnover machine. I'm talking 2009 turnover. Tyrann Mathieu is going to be in the running for defensive MVP. That's how much turnovers and touchdowns he's going to create.
That explains why you have a fathead of the honey badger on your wall.
That's right. This hard hide strawberry whiskey is running, and the Jimmy Buffett tequila is running through me. It's hitting me. Thomas, I forgot my disappointment. What is it? Just put it up there, and I'll go with it. I don't remember what it was.
What? It was myself, Ralph.
I think his disappointment was you picked Jimmy Graham. You did it.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it was. How could you forget it when somebody else?
I love how Ralph is like, guys, I'm unique. I'm picking a different MVP.
Yeah.
I'm different. I'm my own man. I'm not going to be like you guys.
Jimmy,
and then,
I forgot. Jimmy Graham.
Way to recycle things.
The Jimmy Graham excitement's out of control. It really is. Like, it was fun in the summer. It's fun. He's going to catch like 9 passes. He's probably going to get hurt. Like, it's not going to go well. And I love it because people in the Discord were like, he's 7 touchdowns from top 6 tight end all time. He needs like 150 yards to be top 6 in yards. Like, people are excited. Like, he can get back in the discussion for Canton if he has a good season for the Saints. It's not happening. It's going to be a disappointment. But fear not, my children. Thomas, I know what I said in the record, but I got Jimmy Buffett. But I got Jimmy Buffett tequila running through me. If people donate $20 more, I will drink this Barstool trash.
Oh, we got to do it. $20? How many bits is that?
That's like 2.
15 and 2. I'm 15 and 2.
What the hell, man?
I told you.
I told Thomas 12 and 5.
You nailed that, Dave.
I lied. Thomas, you can put 12 and 5. No, 15 and 2. Maxie, who that says Ralph is drunk? I am.
Yes, he is.
And that's your fault, guys.
How many bits is $20?
Thanks, Hard Hide.
I mean, we should reach 200 bucks.
He went from 12 and 5 to 15 and 2. That Hard Hide is worth 3 wins.
Wait till we lose to the Titans. He's going to be like, Andrew, I don't see how we win a game.
I don't see how we win 5 games.
Caleb Williams is coming.
He added 3 wins.
Listen, here's the thing. Like I told John and Hard, I said, listen.
That's how I'm gonna. From now on, that's gonna be like the Ralph drunk meter. Is how many wins you're gonna add?
How many wins you gonna add?
He's pretty good today. He's only a 1 win. It's only a 1 win night.
Listen, man.
How are people not donating right now? You must want to see him drink this.
I've never seen Ralph like this. This was a 5-win night. The Saints went from 7 and
wait, so how many bits? How many bits does it take to get $20? How many bits is that?
How many bits is that? Is that like 9 trillion bits, Thomas?
Is that 2,000?
The scary part is
it's done already.
After the show, me and Thomas got to have the post game. We got to have the recap. I got to edit the show.
It's done already. Thanks to Hatchet John, 5 gifted subs.
Wow.
There we go.
I got to drink.
Good to go.
I got to drink the Barstool trash if I can open it. So listen,
all right.
You guys, you laugh at my optimism, but like
it's laughable.
Haven't the vibes been good, Dave, for this training camp? I mean, the last couple of years, Michael Thomas has been hurt, Onyemata's been suspended. They've had a bunch of injuries in training camp. Like the vibes this summer have been good.
That's why I was willing to go to 11 and 5 or 11 and 6, and you were willing to go to like 12. That's like the ceiling. That's there's 15 and 2 is ridiculous.
The ceiling is the
crazy season. It's like one of the better seasons ever put together.
Saints, San Antonio is saying I'm drinking strawberry lemonade with Hard Hide.
All right,
strawberry whiskey, and I drank Jimmy Buffett tequila, and I'm drinking Pink Whitney from Barstool. This is probably dishwasher water.
Drink that and then chase it with the Hard Hide.
Oh my God.
Ralph, are we doing a show after this?
Yeah, we are. We're doing a mailbag.
Oh, really?
How was that? How was it?
It was better than Jimmy Buffett tequila.
Oh, really?
So,
I
mean, you know what it tasted like? It tasted like milk and like strawberry. It tasted like milk and like a mango daiquiri left out in the sun.
You're definitely puking.
I'm definitely probably in the shower later. My wife
have your bucket ready, man, next to you.
The thing is, I don't think my wife will be that mad because I think the Astros scored double-digit runs again. And
Astros. My son is a massive, massive Orioles fan, and every night I'm like, "Hey, how did the Orioles do?" He's like, "Oh, they won 7-3." I feel like it's the same answer every night.
The Astros, they got swept by the Yankees. My wife, she hates the Yankees so much. She was in an absolute rage last night or Sunday night when they got swept. I was just like, I'm going to bed. I love you. And she was just, the steam was coming out of her ears. Mexi Hudat says Ralph is going to puke. Maybe you should become a patron and be able to watch the mailbag later.
Because if he pukes, it'll be on that show. It's not going to be on this one.
That's right.
On camera.
Become a patron.
So,
for the puking
Thomas donation update.
Before donation update, maybe let's read Kevin's predictions. Let's see Kevin's predictions.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. There's that dude, you know.
Who?
Right, that dude. Yeah.
I forgot he existed.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead,
Kevin. That guy.
Predictions. It's gonna be faster. You can read it.
MVP
guys.
Marshawn Lattimore.
I like that.
That's
disappointment. Alvin Kamara record 10-7. Yeah, I like the record.
Well, he picked the same record as me.
I like that because the Alvin Kamara hype. Nick Underhill, of course, wrote a tremendous article about how his legs were like different strength or something, and he had to like get his balance, his body balance in
order. Why are his legs different strength?
Yeah, his legs were like different strength or different. I don't know. But like, so people were grabbing onto that, and like Alvin Kamara's, he's got his body.
Oh, he's running for 2,000 yards. Yeah,
he's running for 2. He's got his aura back in set in place, and he's going to be amazing. So I like that pick by Kevin. 10-7 is 5 wins too short. So Thomas.
God, Thomas, you better be clipping all of this.
This is amazing. For the war, so we can go for the three-peat for the award-winning podcast. Thomas, before we get to the finger guns, I want to remind people the Saints Happy Hour viewer mailbag is brought to you by Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Play the music. It's finger gun time. Finger guns are lame. I'm drunk. All right, Thomas, what's next?
All right, maybe before I read the first question, let's do a quick donation update. You're all over the place, Rolf. Thanks for 5 gifted subs from. Thanks for Hatchet John for gifting 5 subs. Thanks to Jason Champagne and Hatchet John for also gifting another subs. And who's in the lead? Baruch is in the lead by a mere 100 bits over Andrew's dad. Baruch is in the lead with 6,600 bits. Hatchet John, 3rd place, 5,500
You're gonna take
bits.
that, Dad? You're gonna get beat by 100 bits? You're gonna allow that to happen?
100 bets. That's like
that's very un-Juge of him.
Maybe it's bad planning on our part to have the guy who's supposed to drink also be the guy who's supposed to keep us on track.
Of course,
maybe we ought to. Yeah, maybe we ought to.
Oh, so next week you're drinking, Dave? Oh, okay.
No. I was gonna say Ralph can drink. I'll just make the segues when necessary.
Segues.
Yeah.
Ralph, send him the bottles. Send him the bottles.
All right, next question.
Next question.
Send me the damn rundown.
Yeah, I'll try to do that next week.
First question from Saints Rabbit, the legend.
This better be good.
Once Groupie has his work permit signed by his parents, what's his ceiling and floor this season?
The joke there is that Groupie is like 5'7", 160, soaking wet. And so, yeah, he hasn't been emancipated yet. And he has to get approved by his parents to leave the house so he can go kick for the Saints. His ceiling and his floor. I mean, honestly, like it's the really, floor is Zach Hawker, right? The floor is he kicks for 2 games and we're on the kicking carousel.
Mel Hoff.
Yeah, I mean, that's the floor where, 2 games into the season, he's missed crucial kicks. We're 0-2, and the Saints are bringing in a bunch of veterans, and we're back to the Kai Forbath. Just who's the vet that we're going to bring in? Like, that's the worst case scenario. And I'm going to tell you right now that Will Lutz trade is going to feel really awful when he's banging in a 70-yard kick in high altitude.
That's right.
While we're on the kicking carousel.
Wow.
That's the worst case. I mean, it could get ugly fast. The best case, look, I mean, I don't think he's going to be perfect, but look, even as a UDFA rookie, if you're a kicker that can kick it straight and has a decent leg with your head on straight, I mean, I think 80% is a fair expectation. So, like, if he's like, I don't know, 16 for 20.
The situation Andrew was talking about, that it's Groupie it's basically rookie of the year. But
here's my thing here's my reason I am confident with Groupie is that kick against Kansas City and that 50-yarder. If he misses either one of those kicks, the competition with Will Lutz is probably over.
It's over, yeah.
So I know we think, oh, those are just 40-yard kick. It's not that hard, but like. For him, like, and Kevin said this on the Breaking News podcast when the Saints announced the trade, and I think he was 100% right. If Groupie misses that kick against Kansas City, there's a non-zero chance they cut him the next week. Is it likely? Maybe not. But like those were high pressure kicks for him. Even the long kick that he missed, that was high up on that had the distance, was what, 60-yarder, and he missed. That was a high-pressure kick, too. So I feel pretty good about him. We'll see how it works out. But here's the thing. Like, Will Lutz was terrible last year. Like, if Dennis Allen had kept Will Lutz and traded Groupie to Denver, and Groupie had thrived in Denver and Will Lutz stunk with the Saints, we wouldn't cut Dennis Allen any slack. We wouldn't be like, well, we like Will Lutz, and it's okay that he kept the veteran. No, we'd be like, you cut the wrong kicker. It's got to work for Dennis Allen, and I will say I'm very confident in Groupie. He'll be at least Shane Graham quality kicker.
Yeah, Osmond says middle of the road kicker hit 86%. So I mean that would be great.
There you go.
But also, when you look at Will Lutz, I mean, obviously post surgery he really struggled last year.
Yeah.
He missed a lot of kicks, so
hasn't been good for 2 years.
I mean, here's the thing about Groupie. His makes were down the freaking middle.
That's right.
Most of them.
Yeah. Thomas, what's next?
Okay, next question from Budrich. Not the MVP leader anymore because
ouch.
Andrew's dad donated 500 bits.
How's that feel, losing to a Juge?
But there's still a chance. The
sun never sets on the
you would know, Dave. You would know.
We would all know. Okay, Badrich asks, is Sean Payton in his Bum Phillips phase of his coaching career?
We'll find out, won't we? Oh, sorry.
We will. Budrich, he tweeted this question, but it's because he tweeted out a great meme of Sean Payton turning into Bum Phillips. And here's the thing with Sean Payton that's really interesting to me. They had a feature today on ESPN.com.
Yeah, you sent me that article. It took me about 7 years to read it.
It's like 5,000 words, Seth, with Ricochet. I'm sorry, Andrew. But it was really interesting. But here's the thing.
I'm sorry that we had to send you something that was... more than the Peanuts comic strip.
TLDR, yeah.
The interesting thing about that is if Russell Wilson is cooked as a quarterback, how much time is Sean Payton going to be given to fix it and find his quarterback? And I think he
gets 2 years after this.
There's a non-zero chance that Russell Wilson is absolutely cooked.
He gets this year, and then he gets 2 years.
Here's a question I want for both of you guys, because I put this in my patron-only column for Saints Preview when I previewed some games, and for my WWL column, which will run later in the week. I'm going to hate watch the Broncos because I want that second-round pick, Andrew, to be top 40. Are you in the same boat as me, as like you want that pick to be as high as possible, or are you in the camp of Sean Payton did a lot for the Saints, he gave us a Super Bowl, so I'm going to root for Denver, I hope he does well. What camp are you in?
I could give a shit about Sean Payton. I'm a Saints fan. I want that pick to be as high as possible. No disrespect to Payton, thanks for everything you did, but like, yeah,
you want that pick to be 33,
dude. Like, I was annoyed when all the Bengals people, all the LSU fans were like, yeah, like the Bengals are my AFC team, but I'm kind of rooting for Joe Burrow against the Saints. Like, I'm not. The Broncos aren't my AFC team. I don't have an AFC team. I root for the Saints. Period. End of story.
October says I want that second.
I want the highest pick possible. As far as I'm concerned, I want Sean Payton to go 0-17, so the Saints' second-round pick is number 33. I'm serious. Sorry, like you shouldn't have left us. You shouldn't have retired. You know, like I don't begrudge you for it. You got to do what's best for your life. But the minute you're out the building, I don't root for you. I root for the Saints.
What do you say? I root for laundry.
Yeah.
What's next, Thomas?
I'm a little different. I'm rooting for chaos. So like I either want it to either go extremely well for Sean Payton, or like they win the freaking Super Bowl, or I want it to go extremely horrible, like you say, Andrew.
Yolanola says you're dead.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't take. I wouldn't enjoy the comedy of the Broncos winning and how much that would piss off Roger Goodell. Like I would enjoy that too. So yeah, and Troutman obviously, but so I'm not saying I wouldn't take some enjoyment. I mean, I'm an NFL fan too, so I will find comedy in whatever happens. But at the end of the day, give me the best Saints pick possible. That's it.
Mickey Loomis
That's all I want.
And Mickey Loomis can use for a trade chip.
That's all I want, man. 10. Especially when it's not contingent on the Saints losing.
That's right.
That's the beauty of the pick that belongs to someone else that you received, is that you can root for them to lose, and it improves your draft capital, and you don't have to lose.
That's right. And the thing is, you can every week almost, because the Saints play a ton of 12 o'clock games, every week at 3:30, you can be like, time to hate watch the Broncos.
Yep. You got it.
What's next, Thomas?
Our new favorite AFC team.
Beef jerky and some more ice. I'm going to say this mayhem is
it's hitting well.
Kicking my ass. I think maybe like when you add the club soda and the bubbles, it goes straight to the dome. I don't know what's going on. Good job.
You're drunker than Ralph? Holy shit.
I don't know. All I'm going to say is tune into the mailbag.
The mailbag.
I'm drinking Jefferson's Ocean, and I feel like I'm way more under control than you guys.
Well, I'm not. I've lost the plot.
No, this is turning into mayhem.
I thought I understood the strength of the strawberry whiskey when I was drinking during the LSU game, trying to drink.
You misunderstood that, huh?
I misunderstood. The thing is that makes it so good is it's flavored whiskey. It gives you that strawberry flavor, but most flavored whiskeys are not 86 proof. So it gives you everything. For me, everything I want. I want the flavored whiskey,
but it's not too sweet, huh?
Yeah, and I want the drunkenness. It's perfect. It's not too sweet. It's perfect.
Nice.
It's perfect in every way. I think that.
Well, you'll have to unofficially find a way to get me some.
I gotta get some. So, Thomas, what's next?
Okay, before next question, a quick donation update. Butters is in the lead again by 100 bits, and he sent a donation message. Bits for former Bucs receiver Mike Williams, who passed away today. He went to construction after retiring from the NFL. Yeah.
Did you just laugh?
I did.
Ralph, holy shit, man.
Hopefully you're reading something and not paying attention because
Well, I was
talking about
reading-
someone dying.
No, he didn't. The Astros have 14 runs.
Okay.
I was giggling because my wife.
Nice timing, man.
Yeah, great timing. Way to nail that. Way to stick that landing.
I'm sorry, my wife is celebrating. She's dancing on the Rangers' grave. It's inappropriate.
Well, I have two things to say. That Mike Williams story is really sad. So, that's.
Sorry.
Anyway, appreciate you, Budrich, calling attention to it because I had no idea. I didn't even know that. But also, I feel like the Budrich and Steven Juge ping pong battle that's going on right now
is amazing.
I feel like it's TCU Colorado all over again. I feel like one team scoring the other. We've had like seven lead changes
Mr.
here.
Juge, do you believe in Mr. Juge?
Who's going to win? I mean, this is enthralling stuff.
It is.
Maybe Hatchet John is gonna win.
It's like watching.
He's not that far.
Maxi Hudat says it's like watching Breeze Manning.
It's still not. However, though, still not as much as we got that time. Me and Ralph.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Me and Thomas were trying to calculate the amount of it was incredible. And by the way, because of you guys' donations and because of the sponsorship and because of you guys becoming patrons, we are going to have an amazing live show for you. That's the thing. When you support the show, we get to do fun things like the live event at Sports Drink and different things. So when we never take your support for granted. We appreciate everybody supporting the show, and we reinvest the money. Meats, cheeses for Thomas, better live show. It's going to be the December 8th show is going to be amazing. Thomas, what's next?
Oh damn! And Andrew's dad is in the lead right now. He donated 500 bits. Also, thanks to Arkmich for donating more than 1,000 bits.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to next question from the Dragon Ball fan, Super Kamehameha. if I'm reading that correctly. He asks, when will we sign Kirk Cousins and Christian Kirk to complete the Kirk offensive quinumvirate with Keith Kirkwood?
You really went full Ralph there.
It did.
John Ray Kirkland.
I mean, if they sign Kirk Cousins, that means, and then if they sign Kirk Cousins in the next 5 years,
that would be dark.
That would be something has gone so wrong with the Saints. Like, I'm not saying we won't be doing this podcast because we've been through some dark times before, but that may be the darkest timeline we've ever been on. I don't like this question. Super Chimera Meha. Keep Kirk Cousins off my team. October says Cousins gets a bad rap. He is decent. He is not. He is bang average, as the British like to say. Keep him off my team. Thomas, what's next?
Damn, that was a fast one.
It was fast. It's just washing over me, Thomas. I'm falling apart.
We can see that. Okay, last question from Don Checo. But not last question tonight, because we are going to do a mailbag. Don Checo asks, if Primetime decides to jump to NFL someday, would you be okay with him coaching the Saints?
No, he was a Falcon. Get the hell out of here with that. Just kidding. It would be fun. Like Coach Prime would be fun for the Saints. Andrew, what do you think?
I can't think of a way to describe this. Articulate it in a way that's just like hell no. I can't speak more emphatically to how badly I do not want him on the Saints.
He was a Falcon.
Put it to you that way, yeah.
He was a Falcon.
But not only is he a Falcon, he's like on Roddy White's level for me. He's one of the most detested Falcons of all time.
Yeah, that's right.
That's like asking, I don't know. It's like asking an LSU fan if they would want,
Dave.
No.
Well, no,
like,
I mean,
like Mark Ingram is the running back.
Here's the thing. There's like Dennis Allen level Falcon, and there's Dion level Falcon, and they're complete opposite ends of the spectrum.
It's like asking if you wanted Joe Montana as your coach. No.
And here's the thing with Dion's a great college coach because he's going to be able to recruit and bring in kids. I just don't know if he'd be a great pro coach, because being a pro coach means you have to be great at X's and O's on one side of the ball. And I don't know if Dion can do that. But at Colorado, he's going to be really good. Like, he's going to bring in talent, and like he showed it Saturday. And thank you, Dion. I won money on the Buffs, so I'm with you. I believe Dion.
I'm with Ralph. I don't know whether his coaching style would necessarily transition to the NFL. He's an NFL guy. He's a famous guy. The young kids respect him. I don't know if like NFL professional guys would buy in as much, but also it's still early. I know he did well previously at Jackson State or whatever, but it's one game in Colorado. If you're an LSU fan, certainly you don't want your team to be judged on just their first game, right? So let's see what happens.
Yeah. Here's a peek behind the curtain and how drunk I am. I was just about to message Thomas, because Thomas was like, "We're gonna have a 4-hour podcast tonight. This podcast is entirely too long. You have too many topics." I was just about to message Thomas. I was like,
We removed one.
I was like, "Haha, we're gonna be like an hour 20. We're done." And then I was like, I totally forgot we got to do game predictions because the Saints have a game on Sunday
and the raffle.
And the raffle. We're not getting out of here till 11 o'clock. But it's time, Thomas. We have to do game predictions and explain. I don't even understand. Yep. You got this new fantasy game predictions, math, equation, calculus. Explain it to the people what we have to do each week.
All right. Let me.
Oh, he gave himself music. Oh, fucking fancy.
We pay him. And Dave, we got to get our money's worth. Look at this rule. This rules. Look at this bullshit. Look at it. It's like the Constitution of the United States.
How am I supposed to keep up with this?
It's easy. It's easy. Just
explain it to us, Thomas.
Bear with me, guys. It's easier than the previous one. Okay, so the old rules: predict a winner, 1 point. One team score predict. It's 4 points this year, so it's much more points. Exact score predict. It's 8 points. Because it happens so rarely, I decided to bump the points. No more locking games, no more starters of the game. You can still use it. This season, it's fantasy star of the game. Okay, so and Dave went to the bathroom when I was explaining the rules.
Wait, so am I supposed to pick a fantasy player?
That's right. You have to pick a fantasy player.
Yeah. Did I already do that?
No, you're gonna pick during the show.
Okay.
And you're gonna pick one after another. And you can only pick one player per season. So if you pick Michael Thomas this week, you cannot pick him for the entirety of the season. So you have to, strategize, because there's not that many Saints players on offense. You can only pick Saints players. It's standard PPR rules.
Oh my God. We're going to be picking Jake Haener week 11.
For first place, you get 2 points. For second place, you get 1 point. For third place, you get 0 points.
Players?
No, you can't. You can't pick only offensive players. And you have to account that they can get injured. So if you want to save Michael Thomas for later, he can get injured. It's going to get tricky,
This is the worst idea since Mike Ditka being the coach.
And the thing is, for being last... For being last, each week you get -2 points. But if you pick a player and he doesn't play, so he gets 0 points. And for example, Ralph also picks a player who gets 0 points. Both of you get -2.
I'm already confused. The main
and you
thing...
cannot pick the same player as Dave, for example. So if Dave picks before you, you cannot pick Michael Thomas if he picks Michael Thomas, right?
Okay.
And there's a joker and
come up with a replacement that you haven't thought of.
One more thing. There's a joker rule, so you can pick one player twice, but only once.
Okay. Got it.
And the most important rule of all, last but not least, Thomas can add any bullshit rules in the future. You know, that's the most important rule.
That's my favorite part of this competition, honestly.
Right. But
where do I sign? Where do I sign?
What happens if Saturn is aligned with Mars, but Sagittarius is in the east? What happens then? That's the worst joke I've ever heard. All right.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good answer. It's pretty easy.
Mexi Houdat says Thomas goes on vacation and liberates his mind. This is amazing.
All right, so do I get to go first?
Yeah,
you go first. I'm gonna randomize it next week, but this week it's gonna be another.
Okay. All right. So you want the prediction first, right?
Prediction first, yeah.
So I did pick the Saints to go 10-7. But I think it's going to be tough sledding out of the gate. I think they lose to the Titans. I'm predicting a lot. Now, I'm predicting them to go 10-7 this year, so it's going to be okay. But we're going to be ready to burn it all down to the ground after week 1. Thomas, what did I say? It was like 24-20, something like that? Yeah, help me. Yeah, Titans 24. Saints 20.
Wow.
Groupie's gonna miss a couple kicks. We're gonna be hating.
So you're picking Groupie? You're picking Groupie?
No, I'm picking the Saints. I need to pick the fantasy player of the game, right?
Yes.
And just to confirm, it behooves me to pick a guy that won't play necessarily that well later on, correct?
Yeah.
I'm going with Jamal Williams.
If that's your
Jamal
strategy.
Williams, final answer.
If that happens, just block my phone, Andrew, on Monday morning. Just block me, because I'll be despondent.
Yes, you need 1-0 more than anyone.
Guy with the best photo, man. He's got the best photo of all.
So who's next? Thomas.
I am next. You know what? I should look up what I actually sent to Thomas. So okay, we are playing the. Oh, what? You know what? I should have picked. Oh wait, I thought we weren't picking. I can pick somebody.
Way
now?
to listen to the rules, Dave.
I told you the rules.
No.
Were calculus.
I didn't pick a specific person. Did I send this to you, Tom?
Right, you pick it live on the air.
Yeah, because you cannot pick Jamal Williams now because Andrew picked him.
Andrew picked him.
Oh, I can pick somebody on the other team?
No, you have to pick a Saint.
My God.
Oh,
what is wrong with you?
Saint players on offense, man.
You're full Ralph, dude. You're like...
I was looking at the image with the background. Okay. All right.
Jesus.
All right. I'm going.
You're beyond Ralph.
The Saints are going to lose.
Oh, wow.
The Titans are going to win. I'm with Andrew. The Titans are not to be laughed at.
And you picked the Saints to go 11-6.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to right this ship. But against the decent AFC team is not when they're going to be in week 1. Is not when they're going to be winning games. They're going to need to win. Most of their games are going to come, I think, in the division because the division sucks. So they're going to lose to the Titans 30-27.
Come hard.
He was faster than me.
And I'm going with Michael Thomas. Like we said, we're trying to get guys that might be injured. Let's get him out of the way right now.
Should I pick Andrews Pete? Should I switch to Andrews Pete?
This is disgraceful. This is utterly disgraceful.
What,
we got week 1. We got, I'm optimistic. It feels good. Blah, blah, blah. Lose to the Titans. I know Mike Vrabel is a really good coach, but the Titan offensive line is a disaster. Tannehill is like 100 years old.
Wait, are you about to predict that Peyton Turner's going to have a sack?
No. My wife, she She hates Tannehill as much as she hates the Yankees. I'm going to the game. Alive. The Marlboro family is flying in. Me, my wife Sally, Max, my brother. We're all going to the game. Saints are going to win. But I'm just going to warn you people. This game is going to be a Jim Mora special. First team to 20 wins. It's going to be the Mike Vrabel is the lead defensive coordinator. Dennis Allen is. These teams have had all summer, all offseason to get ready for teams that they know what plays they're going to run. This is going to be a nasty, ugly ass game. Saints 20-17. Thomas, I forgot who I sent to you as the.
You didn't send anyone. You're supposed to pick it now, you idiot.
Anyone. I'm gonna go.
You were making fun of me 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, you were making fun of Dave. Dave, we didn't send anyone in preparation, and then you forgot.
But I'm putting my
unbelievable.
I'm putting my mouth where my money is. Honey Badger, player of the game.
I mean, offensive player.
Also, if you listen to the rules, I asked if you could pick a defensive player, to which Thomas said
and
no.
I explained it to him before the show.
Congratulations on blowing that.
To be fair, that was a dumb question because the second rule at the top in very large print said offensive only player.
Yeah, well, I listened to the answer, which Ralph clearly didn't.
Maybe I can't listen, but I can read and see.
I have a bum arm and a bum eye. I can barely read.
And Saints players only, Ralph.
And you have a bum brain right now, thanks to Margaritaville.
Blake Groupie, final answer.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
Is he hitting a game winner, Ralph?
50-yarder at the gun.
Heavy hitters first week. I wonder who are you going to pick last week of the season, guys?
I don't know. Blake Groupie, final answer. The negativity, it upsets me. Saints 1-0, man.
All right. Did Kevin give you anything to work with?
Yeah.
He gave me a prediction, but I'm going to ask him about the play after the show. So he's not confused.
I'm going to text him right now.
After the show?
You can text him right now if you want. Yeah.
Text him, man.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that, and I'll get an answer for you.
By the way, Kevin are we going to talk about this? Kevin is on a date right now as we speak.
As we speak. Stop the date and give us your player.
Can we call him, Thomas? Can we call him live on the show and see if he answers?
That's what if we could get like 500.
He can probably join the Discord for a second, you know.
If we could get to like 500
can we call him on Discord?
We could have like a live call in. It'd be amazing.
Also, by the way, this is it. This is week one.
It's too late for that.
Wait, the hotline.
Yeah, that's right.
After the game.
That's
win
right.
Or lose.
Great.
Win or lose. Saints after the game, during the game, halftime, whatever. Call the Saints hotline. Thomas, put the number up because I don't remember it. It's 210-595-0818. A lot of you probably already have the number in your phone, but if you don't, put that number 210-595-0818. Put it in your phone as Saints hotline. That way you have it ready to go Sunday, during, before, after the game. Call us, leave your voice messages. We will play them on the show. It's my favorite part of the show.
It's Dave never forgetting about his baby, the hotline. Yeah. No, but seriously, the hotline.
Kevin has picked Olave. His answer is Olave.
Jesus Christ!
He's burning that now.
Wow.
So it's a pretty steep competition first week, guys.
I will say this though, Kevin picking Olave against the worst secondary in the NFL from 2022 is not a bad play. Like if the Saints can protect Derek Carr, he can fry that secondary like bacon. Because the Tennessee, not only did they allow the most yards, 274, they allowed the second most touchdown passes, 29 for the year. So
I'm sure that's the in-depth analysis that Kevin was doing while he was on his date.
No. Swipe left, swipe right. And October
very
says
deep.
210 is in San Antonio number apparently, so our hotline is in San Antonio. So that's nice.
Yeah, speaking of, thanks to San Antonio Saints for donating 200 bits for the first time, I think.
So it's funny, Thomas. Before we end the show, give us the final MVP tally for tonight, and then we have to do the drawings for the winners of the MVP contest for the summer. But first, give us MVP tally for tonight.
Okay, thanks to San Antonio Saint, thanks to Jason Champagne, thanks to Kurat Golfer,
making it rain.
Thanks to Andrew, thanks to Arkmich, and thanks to Dagan Jack, who thanks to Budrich again for subscribing and overtaking Andrew's dad. Holy shit, again. At the last moment, thanks to Arkmich, thanks to Hatchet John. Thanks to San Antonio Saint for 100 bits again. Thanks to Andrew's dad and the MVP, which is Budrich with 7,600 bits.
Wow.
100 bits.
Yeah, Budrich.
He fooled Andrew's dad. He told Andrew's dad he's done, but he wasn't.
I want to say this.
I like it.
And it's not because I'm drunk, but
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, our fans of this show are the best in the freaking world, and they support the show, and we appreciate you guys so much. And we're gonna do an amazing live show for you guys. We're gonna do more content this year. We're gonna have an amazing year. The Saints are gonna have an amazing year. They're gonna bring Derek Carr back to Vegas, and I can't say thank you enough. I would say this. They have 1,000 Saints podcasts. Like, everybody has a freaking Saints podcast. But our fans, they love us and they support us in a way that I think other Saints podcasts don't have. And I just, it touches my heart. It really does. So, Thomas. It does.
No, our fans are more loyal than the average.
I mean, the live show last year.
It's unreal.
It's
unreal. It really is.
And props and amazing. I'm so excited for the live show this year because Sports Drink, we can buy tickets. They're going to have seats, and it's going to be a great atmosphere. And I can't wait for it. The Saints are going to be 14-1 when we have that podcast. It's gonna be freaking amazing. But Thomas, tell us the MVP winners list by week over the summer. This is amazing. Look at this list, guys. Hatchet John, Who Dat Juge.
Wait, who's Who Dat Juge? Who is that? Is that my dad?
I mean, Cajun Sands, he might have won week 17, but that man, he donated 55,000 bits. It's freaking amazing.
That's just because he likes me and Ralph a lot. He wants the show to be just me and Ralph.
Dave, that to me, that was an amazing moment between me and you. We just killed it. People donated, the money was flowing. People donated.
Not that you remember.
I don't remember any of it, to be honest. But
Hatchet John won it 6 times and Budrich 4 times because it doesn't account for tonight's episode.
It's just amazing.
And we've had 8 one-time winners.
It's amazing. It really does. But because here's the thing. There's a million podcasts out there. There's probably 150 Saints podcasts, and you guys love us, care about us, and take the time to listen on the live stream and donate. It really touches me. I know we have.
Please don't touch
Ralph. Touching Ralph, guys. Did you hear that?
Especially the bad arm. Don't touch the bad arm.
Touching Ralph.
Oh my! That wheel is offensive. Thomas, you ruined everything.
Here we go.
So now we got to spin the wheel. We got to do the drawing. So Thomas, spin the wheel.
So tell people what we are spinning the wheel for, Ralph.
We're spinning the wheel for the
he doesn't know.
The first I do know. No. The first spin is for the secondary prize of you get the Crew to Taysom Cup. This is for that spin. And then the second spin is who gets to be on the big show with us.
Yeah, so these are the people who donated any amount during the off season. So
that's right.
So many names, including San Antonio Saint, who donated just right now, right?
I really hope I win. I really hope I win. I donated, and I really want.
Yeah, you get to join us on the big show.
No, you'll get.
Yeah.
I'll ship
Fingers
you a
crossed.
crude. I'll ship you a crude Taysom Cup.
All right,
Wait,
let's
Ross,
go.
your kid is gonna help us, man.
The winner
Spin it.
is...
Oh damn!
Oh, Andrew.
No, it's Chad M. It was close.
Oh, it just tipped over to Chad M. Oh, wow.
Chad M.
333.
If you're listening to the podcast, DM me, give me your address, and we'll ship you a crude Taysom Cup. Which, by the way,
I thought Who Dat Juge was gonna win that.
the crude Taysom Cup, we only have like 6 of them left. We're running out of swag items. We got to decide what the next swag item is going to be. But
Also, this Ralph head thing in the middle with like 7 Ralph heads is really
it is
freaky.
Thomas, where did you get that picture? That is really creepy.
Like
that is restraining order.
All right, let's spin the wheel of death again.
Yeah.
Let's spin the wheel of bad
You want
arm.
to switch the face to Andrews?
I mean, it would look prettier.
I would.
You think so?
I have a face for radio.
Yeah, we can switch it, man. If you want. Okay,
Wow.
let's not prolong it. Let's spin the wheel for the
And the
who can
winner
join
is-
us on the main show.
Butteridge.
Wait.
But wait.
It's Jason Champagne.
Jason Champagne.
Nice.
Wow.
I feel like Butteridge got robbed there, but I'm
I
excited
feel
to
like
have Jason on. I love Jason.
Jason Champagne with the 700 bits MVP, by the way.
Thank
Damn.
you,
Let's
Jason.
go, Jason.
That's a
Let's go.
steal. That's a steal.
Wow. And guys,
I'm still drinking this one Mayhem.
here's the thing.
Struggling, huh?
I'm not
Just
struggling.
sledding?
I want to say this.
Feeling good. Doing
The
just fine.
drawing to be on the live show is going to be amazing. It's an amazing win. It's going to be an amazing prize for you guys for donating. But I'm going to tell you this. The season prize, Jerry of
Hello, Jerry.
Hot Sauce Jerry, who was a sponsor of the program before,
JL.
he sent me a custom built knife
What?
with the Saints Happy Hour logo
Awesome.
in it. And that is going to be the prize for the season winner of the MVP contest. It's freaking amazing. It was so amazing. I thought about keeping it for myself. Jerry sent it to me, and he was like, "You can use this for your MVP contest. I love you." And I was like, "Jerry, this knife is so amazing. I think I need to keep it for myself." But no, we'll do it for the MVP contest for the regular season. It's going to be amazing. We'll ship it to you. It's incredible. It's like a $300 knife. It's
Jesus.
It's incredible. Like
Jesus. Why are you
maybe
giving it away?
as good as the prize of being on the show with
It should
us
be
is,
like hanging on the wall next to you,
It
next
should
to
be.
that little
Next-
fat
next
head,
to the
of,
Headley.
Jimmy Graham.
next to the Headley fathead. So, Thomas, you were wrong. You said that tonight's podcast was going to be 4 hours. It only ended up being like an hour 40. So I just want to say you were wrong.
My bad. You were right as always, man.
Shout out to Papa Juge for making a cameo.
Papa G, like this
Special guest star.
This is one of my
Esquire.
favorite shows of the year, just because we get to put it on the line what we predict for the Saints, and everybody the optimism. We're excited about week 1. We get to gamble, all those stuff. So I can't thank you guys enough. But
Hey, let's get a win on Sunday. How about that?
I
know I predicted a loss, but hey, let's go. Football season is here. Let's do this. Derek Carr, Saints, 1-0, NFC South. Let's win the division. Let's go to the playoffs. Let's do this thing.
We got to get a win, because I took my son last year to the Tampa game. The Saints scored 3 points before we had to leave early. Like, it was a boring ass game for a 7-year-old. I need the Saints to win and score points.
Jimmy Graham scoring a touchdown.
Like, it would just be amazing.
It's happening.
Saints,
it's happening.
You gotta make this happening. So,
like my son says, we want Tajay Spears to have a good game, but we want the Saints to win, though.
That's right. Perfect. So thanks for listening and supporting Saints Happy Hour. Please go to saintshappyhour.com, become a patron, and support the show. We can't do this, guy, without you guys. Thanks to Dave, to Andrew, not thanking Kevin because he wasn't here. He's on a date somewhere. And to Thomas, the best producer in the world. You guys don't know how much work I made Thomas do to get all the sponsorship stuff set up. He earned his money this week. I promise you, he's the best working the show back in Poland. Remember, kids, if you're going to support a show, a podcast, you ought to support the one that wins awards. Until next week, the bar is closed.
Start hydrating, Ralph. Start drinking water right now.
Too late. Take